Hello, it's me, the Unconventional Grower. We're back on plot 14, somewhere in the big wide world. And, just as I'm doing the intro, I've realised we've left secateurs out. Anyway, on today's video, we're doing a quick tidy up and a bit of an inspection from a storm that recently passed through. So we'll get to it. As expected, the hoop house took the hit, which that's what we're up here to do, is clean this out now. We're just going to take the plastic off, the plastic sheet, and bag that up. Everything else seems to be relatively unscathed, apart from the door is swinging loose on the fruit forest cage, which will show up. In a second, as we just pass by, just to see what things are doing. Has any critters got in there? As that's been flashing around. Here's the view from this angle. We've got a few bits and pieces that we need to harvest today as well. So it's only going to be a short video because once again we're blessed with the British weather. And it's raining quite hard at the moment, as you can probably hear it bouncing off the top of the box house. So, little bits to do, and we'll get cracking. First things first, I'm going to give the grape a tidy up, and I don't think it's done much in terms of producing any fruit this time, which is not a bad thing because we did want it to put up some growth onto the cage. So right, secateurs at the ready, and let's get gutted. So I've now given the grape a trim back, not looking too bad, and I have now made a start round this corner, just clearing the path. Now, a couple of things to bring to your attention, is that I've now started to cut back this honeyberry. This is the first bush in the allotment plot to start fruiting very early on in the season. And to my surprise, it's still fruiting. And then over to my right, as I've started to cut back the black currants, I found that it's starting to rebud. Is that the sign of the weather it has been that bad this time, that things are just resetting? I have no idea. Anyway, we don't want to labour on the weather because that's just as it is, it's uncontrollable. However, down here we've got some red gooseberries, so we'll try and get those harvested without causing any form of mass destruction to the hands. So you'll see a small change has happened over this area, the food foresty area. I have now completely cut back the gooseberry and also given the honeyberries a good trim round as well. Bargain. The aim with that exercise is to get rid of the honeysuckle that's growing in there and get to the root and get that out. Now the plan is that this ghastly thing will get dug out and burnt. Yes, that's right, get dug out and burnt, because I've come to the conclusion that, and that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about, in perspective, that's the whole almost width of my finger. There's no place for them in the allotment. It's an accident waiting to happen. So That's going to get dug out fairly shortly, not today. And then we're going to set to and get rid of the gooseberries that live down there and down there, and they're going to get chopped out. Anyway, on the positive, that's what we've got to show for the gooseberries up here. Risk versus reward. Anyway, moving on topic. I am looking forward to these plums ripening, but in order for them to ripen, we need to get a bit of light in here. So I'm going to trim some of these plums down. But in doing so, and this is another video that I did earlier on in the year, where we've got a runner from below the grafting line. And so this has sent out another, probably about 2 meters now, worth of branch which needs to come off, because that's not going to bear any fruit whatsoever. So that is just taking up energy, nutrients from the plants. So we're going to get them chopped, and let's get a little bit of the food forest just trimmed. Well, that's all we want to do, just a trim, nothing else. So the food forest cage has now had the trim, and just working myself around here again. Make no apology on showing you the delights of the Falstaff. Absolute delightful. So we're just in a position where we're digging over this bed to extract the potatoes. We've got a reasonable harvest in there. 1 or 2 has been sliced. But yeah, certainly not as good as the ones we harvested from in that bed in the last video. Anyway, we just want to get this tidied up a little bit, and then we can just show you what's been done today. So I've been able to clear out some of the path down the main walkway in the middle. We've still got the top end to do. What I'm looking to harvest in the last few moments is this beetroot down here. So we'll do that right now. That is not a bad one. And I'll just pass that over to the mini grower. Not the mini grower, the kid grower that's stood next to me. And the other thing we want to just harvest, coming down here.
This one down there looks looking good.
We've got the nasturtiums, and what we're going to look for are the little seed pods. And they're quite sweet but peppery. And what you can do there with those is make like a little vinaigrette and marinate them in the vinaigrette for a few days.
There's a bean plant in there.
And there is a bean there, indeed. Just hiding there. One remaining. Right, so we've fettled out the other potato bed. That one's still to do. We've got
what
the.
do we have next to the potato bed?
We've got the raspberries. Don't know if they's going to do anything because the weather. I keep banging on about this weather.
And what else?
I'll just finish this bit off, but the weather is just rubbish at the moment. So how ripe these become, I don't know. And then next to it, we've got the gooseberries. Now the gooseberries are going to suffer a fate of death.
Look how big the thorns are. Look how big that is. That's bigger than my thumbnail.
They are absolutely ghastly. So I don't know whether, because they're old plants, they must be 10, 15 years old, these plants. So whether cutting them right back and the new growth would not generate the same amount of spikes, I don't know. However, they've had it, so they're going to come out. So they're going to come out at some point. So that's going to open up a world of possibility down there. So we might be able to just get another fruit tree in that area there.
Or thornless gooseberries.
Well, that is another option. That is another option.
A raspberry.
And there's a raspberry. Yeah, where else do we fettled out?
Quite
Just walk up here. Yeah, more trailing nasturtiums over there. Yes, we've got the polythene sheet off this bed now, as that was absolutely decimated.
I'm going to do a test quickly.
And we've given the edging here a fettle out. I'm half tempted to put something in, not peas. I just don't have no confidence in peas coming through, but I might get something in this row here. I've given this a little tidy out. We've got a load of watercress, landcress that's just taken over this bed and taken over the cracks in the pathways as well. You'd think those were weeds, but they're not. We've given the path here a little fettle out just so we can get past, but it's almost time that
You missed a bit. Big
yeah, it's almost time to start thinking about the winter tidy up. Oh yes, that's had a fettle as well. So still quite a lot to do when we get back next time.
Indeed.
I don't think there's much in here to report on. Just put the camera in, just twizzle around. Nothing in there to report. The beans coming up, just in flower. It's a bit wild that they're flowering at this time of year. In late autumn, we've got a colleague over there that's doing the same thing. They're just flowering now. They're only just getting around to flowering. Sweet corn done naff all this year. Never mind. But we've got a nice harvest of beetroot, so that'll be going in the pot. And we've got some absolute monsters down here that we reported on last time. So I think that just about concludes.
Ooh, look at this in prospect over here.
Oh, the kid growers just cried out the last seconds as we were just about to wrap up, but this.
Look at that in prospect.
Yeah, some nice red cabbages there coming along at the back. We still haven't managed to fettle out and tidy out the harvest the red currants. So that's well, we've already had a harvest, if truth be known, but there you go. Right, that's it for this week's episode. So join us again soon. Thanks for watching.